Alright guys, welcome to our weekly outlook video. Some of you may know me already. My name's Jack. I host the Forex trading calls on Zoom for the High Tide group. Today we'll be looking at pound yen. We're going to try and form a bias for the week ahead. So as always, we'll just be using top-down analysis to anticipate the movement on the pair. Basically, this is just where we look at each time frame individually, from the monthly right down to the 1 hour, and we merge what we're seeing together at the end in a nice little table. So I do want to quickly mention the disclaimer. We are just a group of individuals trying to help each other progress in the markets. All we really do is share our thoughts and opinions, and nothing we really say should be taken as financial advice. Okay, so something we've been talking about with the group for a while now is how we're no longer recovering from the COVID crash with the pound against the yen. This here is the COVID crash, so these couple candles back in March and February. And this year, this is Brexit related. So this started in 2015 into 2016. Big drop, as you see here. Very big, especially compared to the COVID crash. So it's always good to zoom out and have that bigger picture perspective, which is what the monthly allows us to do. Ultimately, we can still see how we've broken this descending structure here since that COVID crash, but also since this Brexit crash. In terms of horizontal levels, what we're seeing is 148 finally being respected as a support with the April bearish candle, which was a little bit of a cause for concern when it closed. We were wondering if the trend was going to reverse, but ultimately May has still continued on bullish. We've broken the high of the April candle, and now we're really just heading for 156. Very close now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in the new week, 156. Once we break 156, or if we break 156, there's really nothing stopping us until sort of 160 or 162. These kinds of levels really standing out to me on the monthly time frame, but ultimately we've got this clean little range on the monthly between 156 and 162. So if we run with these levels and take them down to the weekly, we can zoom in a little bit here, and this is where we see the break of that descending structure way back in January. So once we broke that structure, we really did continue up for quite a while, consistently made higher highs and higher lows with the weekly candles. And in April here, we pulled back. We treated 148 or 150, I suppose, as a support, and made a higher high. So this is really good for the pound against the yen. This is a really nice formation to see how we've had a slight pullback, allowed some liquidity to come into the market on the higher time frames, and now we're going to continue up. So at the moment we're at 154. As we've seen from the monthly, it looks like we're going to head right up to 156, and if we can break 156, then we're on our way to 162. So as we drop down to the daily, we can see these zones here. These are unchanged from the weekly time frame. We've got 162, 156 and 148. So 148 is our support on the higher time frames. 156 is our resistance on the higher time frames, and everything in between is kind of just range. Having said that, we are making some higher highs, which is good to see. Continuation of the trend that we've become familiar with all year, and higher lows. So even though April wasn't so pretty, we have had some big ranges, especially on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame, which have been really tough to navigate. Ultimately, we are still making higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame. Alright, so the 4 hour is showing us some nice structure, very healthy upward trending market. We've got a bullish move here, we've got a bit of an order block, so exhaustion of these buyers comes in. Once GJ's taken a break, it continues to move up, so we got sort of phase 1, phase 2, continuation, phase 1 again, and we've ended last week in another order block. So what I'm seeing for the week ahead is either a continuation on the Monday or on the Tuesday, maybe remain in this range, or a reversal for a bigger pullback on the 4 hour time frame. Alright, so finally the 1 hour is showing us this nice structure that we've just spoken about on the 4 hour. We've got this bullish trend here, we've got this order block as the buyers are exhausted towards the end of the week. And now GJ's really just created a range for us to break out of on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm seeing a resistance here, lines up roughly with 154,400, and I'm seeing a bit of a support down here, so we've got lots of wicks, lots of candles closing here, treating this as a support. So there is options to trade within this range, as it is quite a big range. You know, we're talking 70 pips, 75 pips, but more than likely I'll be trading a breakout this week myself, so looking to take GJ from 154,400 right up to the 156 area, hoping to catch some buys in that area. This would mean I'd be trading with the trend, which is obviously what we like to do. But alternatively, trades against the trend are possible for the week ahead. We've got some clean ranges in this zone, so if we do break out to the downside on the 1 hour, I will be looking at some sells by here. Just a quick one then on some fundamentals. We've got the Indian COVID variant spreading some concern here in the UK. Mass vaccination program has been ramped up because of the variant spreading in parts of the UK. Got an article here on the BBC about how the variant could disrupt some of the easing. Although it's unlikely, I think it will definitely move the pound if it's to happen. Got areas such as Bolton in the UK under threat of going into lockdown where the variant is spreading. And in terms of some of the numbers, we've got on Tuesday, we've got some unemployment rate numbers, and on Wednesday, we've got some PPI and core CPI as well. So be watching out for those numbers on Tuesday and Wednesday. So in summary, we've got a bullish trend on the monthly time frame and a bullish candle. Got exactly the same on the weekly and the daily, so lots of green arrows. And then on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, we've just ranging. Hence our plan for a breakout trade for the week ahead. So overall, our bias on the pound is bullish.